Hello, my name is Elisa. Um, this is my new channel, and it's dedicated to starseeds, those who identify as starseeds, earth angels, um, grid workers, light workers, shadow workers, those who remember that or know that they're cosmic beings having a human experience. Yes, so this I had this morning. I was in meditation and some cards. I like to work with this one particular deck that right now I use oracle cards, and it's the Shaman's Dream Oracle, and it's Alberto Belloldo and Colette Baron Reed. I'm a little nervous. So thank you for bearing with me. Okay. So the cards, they present themselves in a story, and this is a collective reading. So this is for a bunch of you who have been going through a journey of your spiritual awakening, of remembering who you are. And there's been movement in terms of dark nights of the soul, those explorations of and asking those questions of, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing, or why is my life not going the way that I want it to go? And right now, what I'm picking up on, and this made complete sense to me when I looked at the cards, in the collective energy, is that we are all in a perfect storm. Or those of you who resonate with this message, we are all in a perfect storm. Look at this card. This is what we're in, a perfect storm. Look at the determination. Look at that focus in the raven's eye. And it's the number 44. And there's activations happening here in its chest. And you see that it's a spiral, and it just goes deeper and deeper. So this is for a reading for those of you who are already in this process, like you are going to the next level. You are in your ascension process. You have received activations, and you have a knowing within you that not all is as it seems to be. So yeah, and it's true. Like, there's a real connection here to this truth, right? Now, I'm going to go through the cards and as it relates and tell that story. But I did want to say at the end, it does end up with the beloved of radical acceptance. And this here is within the heart of this raven. So this is that conversation. And they just jump right in. And the first couple of cards that are coming out is the eagle, eyes of the eagle rising above the fray. And this here is the number 18. Added together, it's a 9. And the 9 is the shedding. Shedding is happening here. There's things that are happening that you're looking at it, you're observing what is going on in your life. And you're seeing that there are things that just need to be let go of. There are things that are toxic. There are things that you see within other people's behavior around you in the environment that you're in. Maybe in the food that you're eating, or what it is that you're consuming in your world. Something is not right. Something is unraveling greatly. And there's toxicity here as well, because the next card is talking about me-tox, repairing the body, mind, and spirit. And what this card is talking about is toxic behaviors, toxic ways of thinking. And this interesting. Yeah, so in this card, if you look up in these bubbles here, you see these little elfling beings, right? And here's this beautiful mermaid immersing herself in water. And water is of such great significance in terms of cleansing. and really purifying yourself. And the ocean, I mean, this is a mermaid, right? So if you can get into the salt water, that would be great. Rinsing yourself with salt, showering with salt is a good idea as well. So there's toxicity happening, and it's in your behavior, and it's okay, because you're meant to look at it. You're meant to look at ourselves. We're not meant to be looking at other people. If we're still looking at other people, then in pointing the finger, this reading is going to be a little different for you. Because these readings are all about ourselves, right? Like I look at myself, and what is the message here about myself, right? And the process that I'm in. So I'm looking and repairing this toxic behavior and removing it and getting rid of that programming, because that being in that toxicity, I've lost track. I'm off of my compass. I'm not in complete alignment here. So this is what that toxicity has done. And by cleaning myself, getting myself back into alignment, it allows me to be a hollow bone. It allows me to be a clear channel to the spirit realm. It allows me to be grounded in and connected. And here, the spirit realm is there. This is ancestral wisdom. And this is being teachable. This is being able to receive the messages as well, and recognizing that you're a conduit of the divine, like you are there in service of, and we're there to do their will of the Most High, right? For the highest and best good for the collective and for yourself. So this allows you, when you've done this exploration and you've gone deeper within, it allows you to be that bridge between the realms, between what is happening here in the earth and what is happening in the spirit realm. Like these wings, like he is completely in connection. And look at that beautiful, beautiful color of that violet. That it's just incredible. And he's grounded. You see that he's sitting on a boulder. Could that be the earth? You know? Grid worker, light workers. And this is ley lines. That's the other thing, right? As light workers and people that recognize that we're grid workers as well, those who that resonate with this part of it, our clearing of ourselves allows us to be a clear channel and allows us to be a bridge and to shine our light and to be in that space of infinite love, and knowing that we are that conduit of empathy, compassion, grace, and trying our best at all times, right? And we understand that's our path, and where we go, we shine light as best as we can. You know, I mean, because we end up in these spaces, right, where we need to do this work, and we have to go again deeper to look at further myself and my own behaviors and my own responses, right? Like this is a reflection of me, and I'm a reader, and I channel for the collective, for those that resonate with this. So moving along, so you're understanding that you're a bridge, right? Between the realms, you divine being. The next card that came out is Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation. So we've come through this process. This has been a significant process astrologically that we're in right now. We have come through, I don't even know anymore what's been going on. It's been so much, so many movements and shifts happening with the outer planets. And there's ascension as well, because a lot of people have been activated by the sun, by somatic therapies. And so you've moved through this ascension. You've shed and then looked at all of this, and now you're in a rest period, right? And you're almost trying to figure out, what am I going to do next? Because we're in this pause. Collectively, we're in this pause. Like, we're exhausted. So many, people that I know have commented and said they're just wiped out. They're not interested in food, and they just want to rest, and it's hard. It's like, so there's some stagnation. But when we go through this ascension process and we're at this point of stagnation, this is where we're doing the integration and defragmenting the software of what you're operating from emotionally, right? And in your response systems and in your memories and stuff, you're clearing away things that don't serve you. When I think of this, you know that game that has the blocks that move across and they come in different shapes, and then you're supposed to line them up and then you whoosh, make it go down? So that's what we're doing right now. That's energetically what's happening with you. You're defragmenting. So that's hard work. You know, it's exhausting, and your body is changing. So many things are changing for you on a cellular level and within your mind and within how you eat. And so anyways, so you're at this point now. It's very warm where I am. So you'll see me do this every now and then, clean the sweat. But there's a nice breeze, so I'm happy about that. And it rained last night, so that made things cooler as well. So you're moving out of stagnation. So when we come up to the next level, we've leveled up. You're now within fourth or fifth dimension of thinking, like you're connected to the spiritual realm, you know, you're connected to the angels, ancestors, you are connected to nature, you know, you feel the resonance of the energies around you. And so now's the time where, when that happens, there's a spark of inspiration, like, so you're stagnating, you're not in stagnation, you're just in a rest and renewal part. But in this card, there's a spark that happens that makes you move. Whether it's a book that you read, someone has introduced you to something new that sort of gets your mind going or visually stimulates you. There's a photographer that's come into your knowing or becomes a new friend. You enjoy painting, whatever it is, reading. Something has happened where there's some new input, and that's really beautiful. And because it's inspirational, like it's been brought into your path and you're like, wow, this really interests me. And this is the next card is the Spirit of the River, and it's number 50, movement towards adventure. And this is what is happening now. There's like, you're starting to think to yourself, I'm wondering if I need to be here. I'm wondering if I need to be somewhere else. Like I'm almost ready to stretch and spread my wings. Like, look at her wings. And it's number 50, which is a 5, which is the number of change, right? So, and while you're in this process, you're also thinking about, how do you protect yourself? How do you protect your knowledge, skills, and abilities? Or how do you protect yourself as you move forward on this next adventure? What does that look like for you? You know? Maybe it's resources here. Actually, what this really is talking to me about is maybe not even talking about what it is that you're doing. Dragons aren't known aren't big, huge talkers. So dragons don't talk a lot, right? And they're also very protective and they're secretive. So I think this card is talking about, it's a good idea to keep your ideas to yourself. I had something happen where I was talking with somebody, I didn't know them very well, and I had mentioned to them a couple of ideas for their magazine or something along those lines, and just some, you know, but I shouldn't have actually said anything at all, because that's, you know, that's a marketable something that I could have done myself, right? So it's important to know when to keep your ideas to yourself, right? Keep it under lock and key. Did you see these keys under here? Yeah. Keep it under lock and key. Okay, baby? Keep it under lock and key. Because when you keep that there, and nobody else then can have access to your destiny, nobody else can have access to what is written in the stars for you. This is fated for you. So there are some things that end up happening where people get an idea that something as big is going to happen for you, or that they see that meet tarot card readers, or somehow there's something. Anyways, it's a really good idea to keep your ideas to yourself, all right? Yes, because what's meant for you, like it's written in the stars, so keep that in mind as well. Like that, this image here, it's almost like Tinker Bell. And they're holding a feather, and you see how they had written these runes, markings of runes. Like this is ancient. this has been part of your destiny for a very, very long time. So I'm just making the assumption that everybody is, knows about their past lives and or remembers these things and feels an energy pull towards certain cultures or different geographical regions. Right? All right. So I don't want to go down that tangent right now. So skywriting, what is in the fates for you? And often what we find that's destined for you is something that has happened or something that you explored and you knew about when you were a child. So what was it that you were really interested in when you were a child? I have no idea if this is focusing correctly or not. But this is the root girl. This is the disowned self. And this card is talking about what, and they have runes on them as well. Runes written on them. Right. There's the runes there. Here's the runes on the baby. So on the daughter or this child, the root girl, the disowned self. And often this is talking about the upper chakras, like working with our intuition. When we're children, often we are more connected to the spirit realm than we are when we get older and we go into schools, and then these things are kind of programmed out of us, and we don't talk about our imaginary friends, and we don't, talk about, I don't know, spirits that they see, sitting in their closet, or that, you just don't talk about those things anymore. So, but these are things that, and even when these things are shamed out of us, like that's important, because we need to know that this is a part of ourselves that we have disowned now, our ability to communicate with the spirit realm. And that's something that almost every single human has experienced this at some level, especially when you were small children. So this is being able to, one, go back to that childhood self, being able to remember, actually I did remember seeing angels, or these miracles happened, or these people came along that really spoke to your abilities and skills, and they saw you for who you were. Maybe there was something that you just had some special gift and you were meant to leave it behind for whatever reason. Okay? So as we move through this process of awakening, we end up coming back to the point of reconciliation. And this is the wailing tree. No matter what, when we go through this spiral here and we go deeper and deeper, we always end up back here into this point of reconciliation. So here we are at this point of reconciling what it was that we gave up when we were children. What was that? And it's come forward to you now again, right? Remembering that and reconciling all of the experiences that you had as well when you were a child that had you disown parts of yourself, and whatever those experiences may be. And I'm very sorry to those of you who suffered deeply as a result of having these special abilities. I went through that myself, and so we learn to hide it pretty quick, right? Because we don't want to stand out. Anyways, let's go back to this, because here we are. Let's be present, being present here, where we are now, where we have had this reconciliation, right? And this is the cosmic womb. We've been able to go back to ourselves and connect right back to that upper chakras that we ended up not active or not having activated for a lot of our lives, for those of you that resonate with this message here. And this card, is difficult to see it, but it's just because it's just brilliant. And it's the cosmic womb, the divine feminine, and this is talking about intuition, right? Our higher chakras, those connections to different levels of consciousness. Okay. So, and when we get into this access with the different levels of consciousness, this is often done through meditation and deep quiet and stillness. And it's important to be in a natural environment if you can, like being out in nature, by the water, next to trees, hearing birds, as much as you can, because this is really important, because it's part of your programming that helps to quiet and allow peaceful parts to come back into yourself again. Like there's no TV, right? Like I don't have a radio going or anything like that. So my environment is very still. And I spend a lot of time in meditation. And you see here, this figure here, I don't know if you can see it very well, but its hands are up like this, and it's in meditation, and its third eye is lit up. And this is where the downloads, this is where you get divine inspiration from. And this connection here within your fingers as well. All of this interconnectedness and being connected with, you see this card here? That's divine knowledge. That's wisdom, that's guidance. Those are in the spiritual realm, they're connecting to you. So when we're in this state of meditation, peace and quiet, this is what's coming down upon us. Like sometimes when I'm in meditation, I feel the movement around my crown chakras. I feel the energy moving around me, right? And that's that connection. And sometimes if I'm in meditation, and I'm in a particular, going through a process of that I'm quite emotional, and then I've recovered myself, I'll feel as though angels are around me and that their wings are there, right? And I feel much calmer, and this is the connection. This is that divine connection. And I know that you have experienced this as well. So when we stay within this and go back to this state as much as we can, in that connection, right? It helps us move through and reconcile so many parts of ourselves that we've had to disown, and bringing ourselves back to the beloved, which is ourselves, bringing us back further and deeper to who we truly are, right? And this happens through this perfect storm that you're in right now. It's going to get better, okay? Everything's moving along. Maybe not how you expected it to be, but it is moving. And this is the important part. And those of you that are looking for or seeking a divine partner or someone to walk the path with you, as you go through this and you get to this point of realizing that the beloved is yourself, self-care, your own toxicity, and removing that and transmuting that into radical love for yourself, radical self-forgiveness, right? It's radical love. To love yourself that way, to accept all these experiences that you've had, like, it's quite a journey to be on, and it's my honor to have read these cards for you. Really something quite interesting as I read the cards, even going down, they talk about the exact same process, like the eye of the eagle is, rising above everything that's happening, right? And here we have this dust devil, right? This big old dust devil happening. I mean, the interpretation is a little bit different when you read it this way, but it's all there. And rising above that and getting to that point of reconciliation, reconciling that part of you, And here with the M, me talks, repairing the mind, body, and spirit here. And this allows you, by doing that, here we end up in the flow, right, of a new adventure. And here, in this card here, it's actually a shell. This beautiful white here is a shell. And that connection to the water, right? Divine feminine, divine mother, the ocean, right? It's really quite beautiful, this reading. Okay. So, I wanted to share this with you. I just, these cards are incredible. And I wonder if this, hopefully this resonates for someone. I am available for if you enjoyed this and would like to have your own personal reading. I do have a link down below. I am working on a website or some kind of a link, even to my Instagram. I'll put that on there as well, so you can see a bit more of who I am and a bit of my journey. I have been on this path for a few years of definitely clearing my body as much as I can so I can be this hollow bone and be a messenger and to share the messages that I receive with you all. All right. Thank you so much, and talk to you soon.